And now, here to entertain you all, because every day he's hustling. Side Hustle Cinema.
Welcome back to the channel, Side Hustle Cinema here. And today we're going to be talking about the season finale of Chucky. Well, season 1 has now come to an end. But the good news is season 2 has been greenlit. So we're going to get a season 2 and that's pretty cool. Because this season leaves a few unanswered questions. And a whole lot happened in this episode. That kill count goes nuts. And Chucky does his own kill count at the end. I don't know if he's being quite accurate. We're going to talk about that. So we got a lot to break down. So let's go ahead and get into it. Well, this episode opens up with Junior and Chucky. They're at Junior's house. And, you know, Junior had just killed his dad. And Andy Barkley shows up. We saw this at the end of the last episode. Chucky tells Junior to go ahead and go down there and deal with it. And I think Junior is fully expecting Chucky to probably pop out at some point and kill Andy. But instead you get like a really long, very awkward conversation between Andy and Junior that just kind of went on for way too long. I wouldn't have let anyone in my house to, you know, be looking at a doll and searching all over my house. No way. It was just weird. So after Junior finally gets Andy to leave, Chucky emerges from the toilet looking like a ghoulie from back in the day. And Junior wanted to know why he didn't pop out and kill him. You know, he's like, I thought you were going to kill him. And Chucky was worried about his gun, and he brought up a lot of other ways that he's been killed in the past, and it looks like he's just trying to avoid Andy. But he tells Junior that he's got this big plan for Andy, you know, that I guess we'll see maybe later on in season 2. I have no idea. Or maybe that plan was revealed later in this episode. I'm not real sure. They never really clarify. Anyway, I don't want to get ahead of myself. And next we're back at Lexi's house, and you know, Jake and Lexi are there. They're talking, trying to figure out why Chucky's trying to have one of them kill for him. You know, like what's the point of that? And of course, if you remember from last episode, there was a Chucky doll, you know, that Jake had bought in the subway, and that doll is come to life. It starts to come after Jake and Lexi, but before it can do anything, it actually gets shot in the head. And it turns out that Kyle has showed up. She must have hitched a ride or called an Uber or something. Because she shows up, she's got her gun, she's got a change of clothes, and she shoots Chucky a bunch more times. And she tells him how the whole thing works with, you know, Chucky being able to only jump into good guy dolls, has to be the same kind of doll. And now that he's gotten one of them to kill, he can be in as many dolls as he likes. Now the kids plan on going with Kyle to help her out, you know, meet with Andy and take care of these good guys. But instead she ends up drugging them. I guess she thinks that they'll be safer comatose. Even though they just had a Chucky in that house. And they all know where they live. And there's like 72 of them. Yeah, they'll be perfectly safe. It really makes no sense. But that's what happened. Next we're at Tiffany's house, and she sees Nika has, you know, gotten free from that chair, and she's going to go and give her, you know, a shot, make her comatose, because apparently everyone just carries, you know, drugs that knock people out. That's pretty much a required thing for this show. But Nika had turned back into Chucky, and she springs to life and takes advantage of Tiffany, knocks her down, gets on top of her, and is contemplating killing her. But that's when Junior and the other Chucky doll show up, and they convince, you know, Nika Chucky that it's in their best interest to keep Tiffany alive. Next, Chucky sort of addresses this army of Chucky dolls that's in this basement, and there's like 72 of them. And they're basically going over the plan for what they're going to do, and you know, I guess their mission is that they're going to be spread out throughout the country, and they're just supposed to kill as many people as possible. So they were discussing how young is too young to kill. They decided that it was 5 or 6 years old. No one younger. Next you got Tiffany is now, fighting again with Nika Chucky. She ends up smacking her. And this, of course, knocks her to the ground. And it brings Nika back to the forefront. So now she's back to being paralyzed and on the ground trying to crawl and get away. The Chucky doll wants Junior to come over and kill her. But Tiffany ain't having it. And she actually freaks out and starts to cut Chucky's head off, the doll Chucky. Now Jennifer Tilly tells Junior to stand down, and she picks up the severed head and starts having more conversations with Chucky, and she reveals to him that she's the one that actually tipped the cops off back in '88 and started this whole night of events that led to him becoming Chucky. And you also see a big truck pull away, and they've loaded up all the Chucky dolls on this truck, and they're going to be bringing them to the charity event that's going to be going on the next day, the one that Lexi's mom is hosting, where they're all going to watch Frankenstein. Tiffany also reveals that her daughter Glenda, and we know that from Seed of Chucky, has gave her a gift, and it's this suitcase, and it's got a bomb in it. And she's got it rigged to blow up the house. And so Junior, one of the Chucky dolls, one with the head, Tiffany and Nika all go get in the car, leaving Devin hanging out back at the house with a bomb that's now set to explode if anyone enters the front door. Well, the headless doll that's at the house, the body starts to move around. And just in time to kind of, I guess, save Devin. I don't know if he was in trouble, but anyway, Andy Barkley shows up and beats the crap out of it with a baseball bat. He then picks up the head and is going to do his, fire torture on Chucky, trying to figure out where they're sending all the dolls. When Kyle shows up outside the house, and they're screaming to her, don't come in, don't come in, there's a bomb out there. But the next thing you know, you're getting a cutscene and the house is exploding. So at this point, you don't know if Andy, Kyle, Devin, you don't know who died in this fire. So next we got Jake and Lexi, and they're waking up from their knockout drugs. And they get on their phone and they see that Tiffany's house has exploded and that there was fatalities. So they fear the worst, and Jake thinks that Devin has died. So he actually goes over next door to Devin's house and is just kind of hanging out there, moping around. And then all of a sudden, Devin comes in. So we know that he's okay. And him and Jake get together and they talk it out, and Devin tells him everything that he's seen. He knows that he's going to be taking all those dolls to that charity event. And so the three kids head on over to the charity event, see if they can try to stop this thing from going down. Next we see Lexi's mom at the podium. She's introducing Jennifer Tilly to the audience. Jennifer Tilly reveals her plan to send these 72 Chucky dolls all over the country to different children from this charity. Lexi takes a peek behind her to see that Chucky has Junior with a knife to his throat. And so she goes inside the building to try to save him. Lexi's little sister Carolyn was there at the fundraiser as well, and she sees these Chucky dolls and she wants one. So Jennifer Tilly goes ahead and gives her a Chucky doll, and she takes it into the theater with her. Meanwhile, Lexi's still chasing Junior and Chucky, and she walks behind the screen and sees Chucky standing there with a knife. She gets about halfway and realizes that she's just kind of fallen into a trap. She turns around and Junior now comes in, and he too has a knife, and she knows what's up. They actually have a dialogue that really goes on way too long. I mean, it was for kind of long. And you cut out to the audience and you see that, Chucky's got his own seat. He's sitting beside Carolyn and the mayor, Lexi's mom. And Lexi's dad finally shows up. He was running late. And as soon as he shows up, Chucky takes off and goes underneath the seats. So Chucky starts to stab people through the bottom of the seat. I guess stabbing everyone in the gooch, the taint. I don't know where he's stabbing him exactly, but he's killing people. And he manages to kill Lexi's dad first, which Lexi's mom comes back and she's got some popcorn and doesn't realize that her husband's dead yet, and she gets a little special popcorn. She stands up and starts screaming when she realizes that, her husband's dead, and Chucky just starts killing more and more people, all by stabbing them in the ass. Lexi's mom tries to run. She gets kicked in the head, but she lives. And everyone's pouring out of the theater, and Jake's coming in, and he's got Devin, and he sees that Carolyn is still sitting there. She's the only one in the theater sitting there right next to her dead father, and she's just chilling watching a movie. He has Devin, get her out of there. He starts looking around for Chucky, and then he sees him in the aisle, and he calls him out. So now Chucky and Jake are having their one-on-one finally. They're fighting it out, rolling around on the ground. And we keep cutting back and forth to, behind the stage with Lexi and Junior and Chucky. And they're just still talking. Junior's trying to convince her that they should get together. Chucky says, hey, you guys should get together, that, you're just like us. And she's not having it. And finally, Chucky's starting to get fed up with it. And he wants Junior to go ahead and do this, or he's going to do it. So Junior charges Chucky, and he actually stabs Chucky in the chest. But he actually caught one himself. And he manages to take Chucky the doll out. But he also took, a fatal wound as well. And he tells Chucky that, she's not like us. Well, I don't know that Junior was actually like Chucky at all. I don't think he was a hardcore killer. I just think he was the dumbest kid on the planet. I really kind of hated that Junior angle with him working with Chucky. It made zero sense. I talked about it last week. It bugged me then. It bugs me this week. I just didn't like it. It would have made more sense if Lexi would have been the character to kind of turn evil. Because she had a good start from the beginning. I think she had a worse relationship with her parents than Junior did. And, Junior lost so many people to Chucky that he cared about. Lexi didn't. And so it would have made more sense for her to team up with Chucky than it would have Junior. It just never made sense to me. I didn't like it. So then we got the fight between Jake and Chucky. And Jake goes ahead and kicks Chucky off of him. And, Chucky loses his knife. Jake steps on him. At that time, Devin returns, and he's got the knife. He grabs the knife, tries to hand it to Jake, but Jake's like, I can do this with my bare hands. He picks up Chucky and starts to choke him. Well, Chucky keeps, talking a bunch of stuff to Jake, and it just makes Jake angrier. And, he ends up choking Chucky till his eyes pop out. It was actually kind of cool. I've never really seen that before. So all the kids gather outside the theater, and Lexi, kind of lets Jake and Devin know that Junior, didn't make it. And so they're pretty sad. And next we see that Tiffany has paid this delivery driver to go ahead and take these dolls to the airport. But Andy was waiting, and he knocks the delivery driver out and steals the truck. But before he leaves, he pops his head out and gives the kids a nice thumbs up, letting them know that, he's got a hold of the dolls now, that everything's going to be okay. So it shows the kids just walking away from the theater. They're calling it a night. They think they've successfully won. And as Andy's driving down the highway, Tiffany, the doll, pops out of the back. And she's got her gun. And she's, getting to meet Andy for the first time. She's never met Andy, so that's kind of cool. And she's pretty much instructing him to, go through with taking these dolls to the airport, I guess. And that's the cliffhanger for that story. Next we see Tiffany has returned home to Nika. And Nika wakes up. She's, been drugged. she starts to, get her bearings about her and starts to look around, and she realizes she's like a full-fledged amputee now. Like both arms, both legs. Not real sure what the point was of that. I don't know why Tiffany, would want to be with her with no arms, no legs. I don't know. It makes no sense. I didn't like it. I haven't loved that storyline most of the season. This episode, it was a little better, but I really didn't like this, the way they did this. I don't know what the, story arc's going to be on this. I mean, is she going to get some prosthetics or something? I don't know. It's just weird. And now the final scene they have is some time has passed, and you see that the biology teacher has now dropped the kids off at the cemetery, and they're going to put some flowers on Junior's grave. He's there with his mom and his dad, and you kind of realize that, she must be the caretaker of at least one of them, maybe both of them. I don't know. Maybe she's taking care of both Devin and Jake, or maybe it's just Jake. Who knows? I suspect we'll get a much bigger story arc for her in season 2. So we'll have to wait till next season to figure out who the black glove belongs to, who's peeking out from behind the tree, who's been apparently keeping tabs on the kids, see what they're up to. So then the show cuts to Chucky, like he's been narrating a story, sitting in like a rocking chair. He's got his sweater on by the fireplace, reading a book. He starts talking about how the kids got a happy ending, except, all their parents died. And he goes into his own kill count. I was super shocked at this because, he's kind of stealing my deal. But he gives us his own kill count, and his kill count's a little bit different than mine. So he comes up with the number 21. It's 21 killed by him in the show. Now, he didn't count the flashback people that were killed by him and Tiffany early on before he became Chucky. He didn't count those people, neither did I. He did count Binksy the cat, and I just been putting him on as an extra. He did take credit for Junior's kill, which I don't think is correct, because if it was Chucky's kill, then all those dolls wouldn't have gotten possessed. It had to have been killed by an innocent, which Chucky's not innocent. So I kind of think that kill belongs to Junior and not Chucky. But in Chucky's kill count, he takes credit for it. And then let's go through the numbers. I slowed it down and took screenshots of every one of those numbers. So we see that number 1 was Crispy Devon Sawa. Number 2 was Heads Are Gonna Roll. That was the principal. Number 3 was Junior's mom, Free Fallin'. Number 4 was Just a Little Prick. Number 5 was the explosion that killed Kyle. Number 6 was Annie, You Missed a Spot. Number 7 was Head on a Swivel. That's when he killed Devin's mom. Number 8 on his list is where he kills Devon Sawa again, Junior's dad this time, which I didn't give him credit for that one. So I'm still technically at 7. He's at 8. His number 9 is Junior. His number 10 was Oliver, Don't Mess With My Girl. Number 11 was 50 Shades of Dead. And then he jumped into, all these, he had already started all these stabbings, okay? He started the stabbings off at number 9. So he had Junior, Oliver, and 50 Shades of Dead. He had all of them in his stabbings. Also in his stabbings was number 12, which was Lexi's dad. Number 13 was a random theater goer. Number 14, okay, look at this one. Number 14, and this is right from the video. This is right from the show. It's another picture of Devin's mom. That's Head on a Swivel. That's the same picture. You see the number 14. So that one, I don't know. How do I give him credit for that one? Number 15 was another random theater goer. Number 16, another random theater goer. Number 17, it's kind of hard to make out the actual dead person there, but even if you give them credit for one, numbers 18 and 19 are the same photo. They held it there. And well, they sped up the clocks, what they did. I mean, they sped up the count. So each one of them were numbered, except for Devin's mom got 2 numbers, and numbers 17, 18, and 19 are all the same. Then it switches to Binksy the cat at number 20, and then they showed the little piece of fur, and then it drops to 21 with a black screen. Because in Chucky's count, it happened so fast, they kind of call Binksy the cat number 21. So number 19 is probably, number 20 is probably included in those 17, 18, and 19. So did he get 4 more random theater goers? I don't think so. Maybe he did. I don't know. But I know he didn't get Devin's mom twice. I mean, you don't get 2 times. They're saying 21 kills. I'm thinking, I have it as, if you count Binksy as a kill, I have to take 5 kills away. So Chucky's official kill count is 21, but I only technically see 16 kills. And that's counting a cat. Because I don't count Junior's kill, and I can't count these theater goers that you don't really see. Now, they show some dead bodies, and he counted all the dead bodies that they showed in the seats. And I gave him credit for 1 kill from 17, 18, 19. I gave him credit for 1 kill, although it is kind of hard to see who actually died in that scene. So I have a kill count of 16, but I'm not going to argue with the show. The show's probably right. But it's a little suspect. It's a little iffy. I don't know. You guys let me know down in the comments. What do you think? How many did he really kill? I don't know. Is it 16? Is it 21? But anyway, this video is running long, so I gotta wrap it up. I enjoyed this series quite a bit. I'm looking forward to next season already. We're gonna find out what happens to Andy on that truck. They are bringing all 3 of the kids back, and they're going to explore, more about them in, next season. We're going to find out, who that person is with the glove. We're going to find out, is there more to this biology teacher? We're definitely getting Tiffany. We'll get some arms and legless Nika. And who else is going to show up? Are we going to get Glenda? Are we going to get Glenn? What other characters might pop up and come back from previous movies? I guess we'll have to wait and find out next year. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the series. I know I enjoyed covering it. Sorry I could not put any audio in these clips. Last week alone, I had to upload 3 times because they kept blocking the video for copyright issues. Even though I was running another audio track underneath it, it worked the first few episodes of the season. After that, it stopped working, and they were busting me every time. And, I don't want to fool around with any copyright things. Unfortunately, I just had to go no audio on any of the clips in this one. And, I apologize for that, but that's YouTube life. So that's going to do it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed the series. I enjoyed making it. If you enjoyed it at all, if you're still with me, hit that like button. If you're unsubscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And as always, stay safe, have fun, keep watching those movies. I'll see you on the next one.